Hey folks, JD here, and today we're going to be going through my top 5 quadcopters so far of 2019. So we're 4 months into 2019 already. I've already flown so many different quadcopters, driven so many different cars, but for the second I just want to focus on quadcopters. Now, what are my top 5 of 2019 so far? Well, let's start off with the Syma Z3. This actually came from me just liking the shape, and I saw it on Amazon. I just bought it. It came in at about £44 British, and I honestly thought it was fantastic. It has a optical flow sensor underneath. As you saw in the video, I can keep on pushing this Z3 up and up and up and up over the 10 meter mark, and the optical flow sensor still works. It holds extremely well. Now, the quadcopter is light. It is vulnerable to being taken away in very strong winds, so that's why I would say that you do not fly this in anything over a 5-mile-an-hour breeze, because you may have some issue. Another couple of good things about it: the camera, albeit a toy grade quadcopter camera, wasn't terrible. It was okay. It was quite noisy, but it isn't as bad as some others. Battery life was very good. It flew for a very good time. Charge time was, I think the overall flight time was about 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Charge time from it as well was about an hour and a half to 2 hours, so it was actually under what they said it was going to be. My overall experience was very good. The transmitter is a standard Syma transmitter, and one that we have seen time and time again, and absolutely I have no issue with at all. I think they just work. Very basic, but they just work. So that is the Syma Z3. Next on the list is the SJRC Z5, and this is a little beauty. This is a little brushed copter. You have a little camera at the front here. Not great quality, but it does pass. Well, it's still video, put it that way, but it is very grainy. Now, I have seen some other videos of the Z5 where the cameras look a little bit better than what mine did, but at the same time, my experience is that the camera was actually pretty lousy. Very grey. In some areas it was actually purple, so it didn't give you any quality, didn't give you any clarity or any depth of field, so I thought that was pretty bad. But the good thing is that the camera can be moved via the transmitter, so when you're up you do have quite a nice 90-degree angle of view there. LEDs, very bright, can be seen from quite a distance, no problem there at all. Battery life, superb. 15 minutes of battery life. Honestly, I haven't had any issue with that. I've flown this about 10 times now, and I'm still getting between 14 and 15 minutes of battery life. No issue there at all. Charging is about 2.5 hours. It is quite slow, but still, once it is charged, once again, I'm not having any issues with the cells not being balanced properly. They are fully working. The overall build of this, does feel quite plastic, and what I mean by that is it's not thick plastic, but still, it does work very well. This is a GPS copter as well, so you do have GPS lock, and it is extremely stable. This is, do you know what, for £70 you cannot go wrong with this. I don't think. I think this is an absolute steal for that. It really is good. Brushed motors and the bad camera, they're the two things to take away negatively from this. Other than that, I'm very taken with this, and I've, as I say, flown it 10 times so far, if not more, and it is just showing that it is a very good contender. This is the SJRC Z5. Next, we have a good old staple in the quadcopter community. This is the Vizio XS812. It's a folding quadcopter, camera at the front, manual adjustment for you, but once again you do have a good 90-degree of adjustment there. Ooh, the battery's full at the back. This is a GPS version. Its hold is fantastic. You get a really good distance with it as well. I cleared the field at 170 meters. I could have gone further with it, but still at the same time I was a bit concerned about it coming back. Return to home works excellently too. It came back, and the return to home gave us it was about a foot difference from where I took off, which still, I think that's brilliant. Brushed motors again, you don't really notice a lot from that with these motors. It just works superbly because the quadcopter is weighted very well. Now, the weight of this particular quad in grams, I think it's under, this is the flying weight mind you, because the battery's in the back, it should be under the 250 grams. It is 201 grams, which is a perfect weight. for any sort of quadcopter. You have a nice bit of weight behind it, the wind isn't going to take it, and with the GPS lock it just comes in very, very nicely. The transmitter was nice to use, pretty standard, pretty basic, but still, that's all you need for these particular quadcopters. You don't need anything too complicated. Once again, this is an absolutely fantastic quad, and I'm glad to have this in my top 5. That has been the Vizio XS812. Right then, next on the list we have a little runaway, which is this little guy. This is the Holy Stone HS220, and this is superb. Again, Holy Stone have done it with this particular quad, so you can pull it out and make yourself into a larger scale quad, or you can keep it as a tiny whoop style. I've flown it in both, and I still say that they fly superbly in both modes. The battery inside here is the same battery that goes in the transmitter. You charge it off the transmitter, which I found a little bit strange, but still it worked, and it worked very well. Both batteries in the transmitter. I've used that same transmitter battery now for 4 flights, and I haven't had to charge it once. Inside here you get 8 to 10 minutes of flight time per battery. The camera is the worst bit. When you open this out into a full quad, you have a little camera inside there. I find it pretty good that they've actually added a camera, although it is not usable in any way, shape or form. And the worst part of this is the app. The app is the worst. You have, across the top, you have the photo, you have the video icons and everything else. You can't see them because they are the same colour as the background you're flying against. So you just can't see what buttons you've got there. You can't see when you want to push to take a photo or to record some video. So this quad, all in all, works very, very well. Don't have any issues from it, other than the one issue that a lot of people seem to pick up on, but I don't really mind, is your touch on and touch off. Now that touch on and touch off is active when your quadcopter is up and flying, so if you just touch it, your quadcopter will just descend to the floor at a rate of knots, whilst the motors cut themselves out. But still, it works well. It flies well, and that's really all I care about, is how well the flight works. And this one works very, very well. This is the Holy Stone HS220. And one I didn't think I was going to put on my list when I initially bought it is this. The Whisk, otherwise known as the Proflight Orbit. And you know what? For the money I paid for this, I am so happy I bought it. This is quite, again, a wolf in sheep's clothing. You have a camera to the front, which you can move around as you see fit. This one isn't controlled by transmitter. This is a GPS quadcopter. It folds out into quite a large quad. Really does. That's why for this video, because of my confined space, I'm going to keep it all done up. Battery gives you at least 12 minutes of flight. Now, what astounded me the other day, I posted a video on a distance flight of this and whether or not I would get any FPV relay over 95 meters. I did. It went over 100 meters and carried on, and I didn't have any, and there wasn't any breakup in the FPV, there wasn't any lag. It is just a really good copter. It is one that's astounded me. Now I paid £79 for this, which is a little bit expensive, but the next day that I bought it, it came down to £39.99, and it stayed at that price ever since. For the £39.99 price, I think this is a steal. For the £79 price, it's a bit too expensive, and I would have passed on it if I had known that it was going to drop down to £39, in all honesty. But still, the app it uses works very well. You've got lots of customization in it. The transmitter works very well as well. Again, it's a basic transmitter, that's all you need, but it has good range. It relays controls extremely well and effectively as well. So this is the Proflight Orbit. So all in all, my friends, we've got some absolutely fantastic quadcopters here, and ones that I am really glad to have flown. But there is one other quadcopter that I do want to give a shout out to, because it is absolutely phenomenal, and it was going to be in this list, but it was pipped to the post at last minute because I wanted to shout out this particular Proflight here. And this is this. This is the Emax Tiny Hawk, and this thing has really changed my mind about indoor-outdoor little tiny whoops. This thing has got 4 brushless motors underneath it. It is an absolute demon. The worst part about it is in the pack that I had, only came with 1 battery, and the battery only lasts 4 minutes. But still, this is a very solid contender. So really, this video is a top 6, not a top 5. But yeah, I think this is an absolutely outstanding quadcopter. It flies remarkably well. In the pack you had the FPV goggles, the transmitter, you had this, you had two 18650 batteries, you had as well as spare propellers, stickers, load of stuff. This is an absolute demon of a quad. If you get a chance to pick it up, either new or second hand, I absolutely would. I would jump at it because this is brilliant. Flies very well, flies very true. You have acro with it as well, or you can fly it in standard mode and stabilized. And either way, you don't have any issues. It's fully Betaflight configurable as well, so you can configure it up to however you choose to fly. So there we are. That is the top 6 quadcopters so far of 2019, and you know what, I'm so happy that I've had these and flown these. These have really brought no end of delight to my day, and I hope you've enjoyed watching the videos too. So as this is a so far video, I will be carrying this on throughout 2019 and updating it every couple of months just to give you an update on exactly how things are going in the quadcopter market and which ones that I recommend and which ones that I don't. These 6 are most certainly the ones that I do. These 5 you see here and the SEMA Z3. Alright then, my friends, thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.